Hello everybody and welcome in this third session of Python course. Today we're gonna talk about tuples, sets, dictionaries, and also we will talk about loops. And at the end of the video, as always, I will give you this time through projects a little bit hard because they maybe contain all the notions that we have seen in these 3 sessions, but don't worry, if you understood well all of those things, you will be able to make a good solution for it. This is for sure. And also we will give you solutions in the next video. So don't worry and let's get started. So, what are tuples? What are sets? What are dictionaries? And what is the main difference between these 3 notions, these 3 iterables, and lists and arrays that we have seen in the last videos? So this is what we will know in this video. The first thing we will do is to make a tuple. So let's start. Tuple 1 equal, for example, 1, 7, 8, 0. So this is a tuple that contains 4 items, 1, 7, 8, and 0. Let's make a list that contains the same values, 7, 8, and 0. So what is the difference between these 2 iterables? Okay, and why should we, for example, in such a case use tuples, in another case use lists? Actually, this depends on the project and your intentions. As we will see now, tuples are inchangeable iterables, so you cannot be able to change them. You cannot be able to change any value of its items. You will not be able to edit or delete items. In opposite to the list, you can add to them values, you can delete values, you can change their values without any problem, as we have seen before. So let's try, for example, to change the first value or the first item of this tuple. Okay, so tuple 1, 0 equal 1 or equal 0. Print tuple, and let's try to see what will happen. Of course, we will get a problem or we will get an error. So, tuple object does not support item assignment. So as I said, they are inchangeable. You will not be able to change them. So, for example, if you are working on your project, and maybe you are in need to a vector of constants, a vector of values that will not be changed in the whole program, maybe you need tuple because it will help you and give you more security that the values will not be changed. But if you are working with variables, something that can vary with the project, sometime take a value, another time another value, and this time you will use lists. Okay, so now we will talk about sets. So what are sets? Set is something that you already heard about in mathematics. Set is something that contains items. If we have 2 sets, we can make their intersection or their union. We can know if this set is a subset of this set or maybe a superset. We can make another operations like symmetric difference or a difference. Okay, so all of those operations are mathematical and cannot be performed directly with lists. I'm talking about the functions that come with Python. But you can of course do your own functions, but with sets you will be able to perform all of these functionalities without any problem. Let's see that. we will make a set. So now we will make two curly brackets. For example, we have set with 5 items. Second set, for example, 6, 3. Okay, so those two sets are with 5 items. So now we will try to make just small operations to see what will happen. The first thing, let's make the intersection of those two sets. It's really easy. Set1 dot intersection set2. So we already know the result. The result will be the items that exist in the set2 and at the same time in the set1. Like in this case, 1, 5, and 0. The others doesn't exist here, and 7 and 9 doesn't exist in the second set, so we will not see them in the result. So the resulting set is a set with 3 items, 1, 5, and 0. Let's see that. Okay, 0, 1, and 5. Please recall that. We will see something very interesting by the end of this session. Okay, so we will try also to print set1 dot union of set2. You know already that union is all the values in the set1 and the values of the set2. The thing that is very important here, that we will not have redundancy. Although 1 exists here and here, we will have just one value in the resulting set, also for the 5 and also for the 0, which is logic. Let's see the result. So there is only 1 5, 1, value of 1, and 0. Okay, so this is intersection and union. We can also do something else called superset. Is set1 is superset of set2. As you can see, this is wrong. Set1 is not a superset of set2. Why? Because there are some values in the set2 that doesn't exist in the set1, like 6 and 3. Okay, so we will have false as a returned value, because this will give us a Boolean value. So let's add those values here. Superset. Okay, so we will add 6 and 3 here. Now it will give us true, because all the values of the set 2 are included in the set 1. Of course, the opposite, set 2 will be a subset of set 1, right? Nice. So this is all about sets. Let's try to move to iterator. We will see what will happen. Let's make a list 4 at first. List 1. For example, 1, 8, 9, 0, 4. So iterator equal iter list 1 and print next iterator. Right, so let's see what happened. We have 1, which is the first item of this list. Let's try to make it again. Next iterator. So now we will point on the second value, which is 8. Make it again and again. Now we will point on 9 then 0. So with these two functions, we will be able to print on the items of a list, or in general, to print on the values of an iterable, which can be list, set, or a tuple. Okay, so let's try to do that for set. So let's make this set, and let's see what happened. So the first value is 0, but the first item is not 0. The second value is 1, but the second value is not 1, it's 8. But you can see something strange here. We have the first one is 0, the last one is 8. So the first value is the lower value in this list. But 8 here is the higher value after 4 iterations. Let's make this -1. So the first value here will be -1. Okay, so it gives us 1. Oh yes, -1 is not included here. Okay, let's for example give it 7, 3. Okay, here we will give it true. So the first value we will get here is true. Right, so we will have 2, 3, 7, and 8. So we will start with the lower value and we will end by the highest or the higher value. Okay, because we cannot print a value of an item by indexing it, because the values of the list, or maybe the value of the set, are not indexed. So if we say print >1 0, it will give us an error. Set object is not subscriptable. Okay, so put this in mind. Lists are not indexed, so this item is not indexed by 0, not like lists and tuples, right? So now this is all about the iterable objects. So let's move to for loop and while loop. So there are two kinds of loops, as we will see. So for example, value counter I in range 10, print for example hello world. So instead of printing hello world 10 times, we can just say for and repeat this instruction 10 times, as you can see here. So this means that we will start from 0 to 9. So I will take at first time 0 and at the last time 9. 10 is not included. Let's print I. As you can see here, the last value is 9. The first value is 0. So what if we want to start from a specific number? You can just specify it here and it will start by that number. Okay, so what if we want to make a step which is different to 1? We can add that here. So this means we will start by 5, we will end at 10 minus 1, which is 9, and we will make a step of 2. Okay, 5, 6 not, because we added 2, 7, we added 2, 9. Okay, so this is for loop. We can also make something interesting. For example, we have a list, right? And we want to show those items. We can say for a variable that you can name it item in list1 and just print that item. As you can see, the first item is 1, the second item is 5, and so on. What if we change it, this item, equal, for example, 7, print list 1. So, if you think that if you change the value of that item, you will affect the list, so you are wrong, because this item is not pointing on the real item of this list, so you will not be able to access to it. So if you add the value of this item, the real item will just have its initial value. So what you can do in this time, you can make index and here enumerate list. So enumerate just give an index to each item of the list. So now you can, for example, make list 1 index equal to, for example, 0. By the end, we will have a null list. Okay, so this is all about for loop. Let's talk about while loop. While condition do something, right? So the difference between while and for you have to specify the number of iterations, but while it rely on condition. While this condition is true, it will loop and repeat your instructions. When the condition pass to false, you will just pass and continue your program. Okay, so while I, for example, superior to 10 or to condition is 10, I, for example, equals 0, print hello world, a plus equal 1. Okay, if you don't put I plus equal 1, if you don't increment I, it will loop infinitely, because I will be stuck in 0 value. Okay, so now we will have, okay, while I superior, inferior, right? So now we have the printed text here. So this is all about those conditions and about the while loop and the for loop. So as I said, I give you 2 projects to understand well. So make a program that takes information from the user about students. The informations are name, age, gender, phone, and address. Then store them in a list of students. So there are some conditions that you need to respect. The age should be superior or equal than 12 and inferior than 30. Otherwise, you need to ask for another correct value. The phone should contain 10 numbers, not characters, just numbers. Okay, otherwise also you will ask for another value. Gender should be male or female. It should be case sensitive. So for example, if the user put male with a capital M, it will work. It has to work. Okay, with a capital A, with a capital F, or maybe something else, it has to work. So the essential, it shouldn't be a case sensitive. Okay, so if the user gives for 3 times and 4 more informations, the program should stop. Right? So this is for the first project. For the second, just write a program to display the student's information gathered by the first program. The user can search for the student he wants by giving conditions on the name or the age. So this is like a structured database that you can access or that can help you to access to the informations by searching and putting some conditions and plotting the values. Okay, so I think those tool projects can help you, and they are very rich of information. They are very rich of notions. You will use a lot of functions to make it a solution. Okay, so I thought they were relevant to strengthen your skills in Python. So this is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time. Just please give us a like and hit the subscribe button, and this will be very encouraging. See you.